It's got me thinking about us more. It's these bright lights that put me in a daze, and I can't stop but think about the way that you move around up and down on that stage. It's your future vibes. Bright lights, they put me in a daze, and I can't stop but think about the way that you move around up and down on that stage. It's your future vibes.
Welcome everyone, round 8 of the season for Tier 2. We are at the British Grand Prix and we have qualifying underway right now, and I think it definitely is time to start the stream. I am joined by Polo God. Polo God, how is it going?
I am good. I'm really excited for this round, especially since it's at Silverstone. One of my favorite tracks, not really to race on, but one of my favorite tracks to watch, because it's such a historic, such a great track to watch people race and overtake because of the many iconic corners.
Now, let's go over the Tier 3 race from yesterday. I'm sure you tuned in. Hey, your cousin Aaron Ocon got P5, his best finish. How about that?
Oh, I was race engineering him. I was so happy for him because he, I wouldn't say he was unlucky this season, but he has shown recently that he has the pace to get good points in Tier 3. And you know that last week, and this week he was completely phenomenal on the strategy, staying out on those inners the entire race, even though it was on a drying track.
Yeah. No matter what, you have to trust the driver with what their knowledge is and what they have with their tire length and, you know, the data and then everything else there is. You got to trust that driver in order to get yourself what you need for them. So yeah, Tier 3 race yesterday. Let's go over some of the key points about it. Davis did not take the win. It was not 3 in a row. He, after a post-race appeal from CJ Pants, who took his first podium after being 11-0, even more than 11-0, but still 11 DNFs. And after that, CJ took P2. After GSR Patriot took his first win, Racing Point's first podium this season, first win since oh god, it's been a while. First win since Riles last season, back at Germany, and Milo Gaming goes to the top as well. Yeah, so Tier 3. GSR Patriot won the race. CJ Pants side by side with a photo finished second. But Davis, because of that post-race appeal, Davis, meaning all this, Davis, basically, with all this being said, Davis, 1 point behind the championship. 1 point, that is. 1 point! And oh boy, how much of a difference does it make? It makes a lot of a difference for sure, with all that's going on. Yeah, I would say though, for this season so far, it's been a great season for Tier 2, but Tier 3, Akimbo's best points finish as well, P4. Second race in the league, Aaron Ocon, P5. Racing Point, Gain and Toros for the constructors. You also have, behind that, you have H Choice Snail, who made his first start. Got a decent finish for him as well. The Alfa Romeo team, Alfa Romeo jump up with the constructors as well. You also had last night make a prediction for tomorrow. I will at some point in the stream, probably toward the end of the stream, when the race is over. But we had Burning Man take his first league racing points finish. This is his second month into F1 games, almost. It's his second month, really. So this was his sixth race into F1 league racing, into F1 games. So a great job by Burning Man to take his first points finish in league racing at his home race, out of all places. Yeah, what do you think about that polo?
Well, that tier 2 race was incredible, especially for the certain drivers. Burning Man, Aaron O'Connor mentioned, Akeem Boss, definitely a few talking points. CJ Pence taking his first podium. I think he's the only other person that's gotten more DNFs than me, which is a bit embarrassing. But it's great to see he's got his first podium, and also Patriot taking his first win.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
After a pretty poor start to the season in Tier 2, I think he's in a better environment for him in Tier 3.
Yeah. But, I kind of want to speak about, a few things from, yesterday that I want to mention. There's, the photo finish between CJ and Davis. If it weren't for CJ, passing Davis, Davis would have the championship lead. CJ stayed out and stuff, and he got that podium. Kimbo's got the podium as well. H2O, or not podium, Kimbo's got fourth, best finish. H2O, first start for him. Got a good finish. But now, I think you'll see it on the screen, Polo. Let's go to the point standings and let's go to the track facts. Something new. Stream. So, I think we could go over the points standings first. Mercedes and Red Bull are tied 151 points at the race lead, 40 points ahead of Williams and 45 points ahead of McLaren. They're all those four teams are within a race in the constructor standings. You also have Adam Fav, Pluto, and Kagoda all within 9 points. Behind that, Milo Gaming 30-something points back. Then you have Beatnik, Riles, last season's champion, and Hamilton, who's currently on top of the session. What do you think about those standings?
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a really interesting title fight. Like I said in the podcast earlier, it could go either way between Adam Fav, Pluto, Kagoda, maybe even Milo Gaming could get involved in the title fight if he gets a really good result today. He's currently sitting P4. Ryle, I usually say Riles every week that he's been a bit disappointing this season, but Riles hasn't been up to the standard of what most people were expecting as the champion, sitting in P6. However, he did kind of get a good result last week. Hopefully it boosts his confidence heading into this week, as I think he's currently
Wait,
P8.
you call 9th a good result? I mean, hungry.
Oh my god.
He got hungry and he got fifth. He got hungry. Yeah, you got fifth and hungry. Yeah, but still, I know what you mean.
Yeah, he's kind of turned his season around a little bit, but he needs to get better results because he's not been good enough this season.
No. I mean, last season I was in this race, and speaking of the second I was in this race last season, I outperformed Riles and I beat him. I won 2 in a row after my first win. So let's go through the check facts. First time winner in season 1, which was myself. Something interesting to bring up about that polo. The champion has been on podium in season 1 in this race. It was Rapalucas winning the race, and it was Riles. So, how does that kind of play into factor? Does Kagoda, Adam Fav, Pluto, do one of those guys come on the podium and win this championship? What happens there? You also have, this place has a history with wet weather. Yeah, we've seen that before, season 1, and we have seen that yesterday in tier 3. Now we see it again today with this race being heavy rain, light rain to dry, like it's been the past 3 weeks, which has been a decent thing for tier 2, which it dried up at the end. But I think I prefer at this point to have a dry race, a full dry race, because it's getting quite annoying. Because last dry race was back in Spain, which was also pretty annoying. Like, at least full dry race. This place, yep, I mentioned that. Mercedes last season, Polo, I know I'm going to mention this. Mercedes took pole last season in both tiers. You were one of them. How much would it feel to repeat that? I know it won't be likely, but how much would you like to repeat that?
Oh, it would be special, because this is a track where I've massively improved that, but I think with the massive level of competition compared to last season, with the likes of Boker, Razan coming in, Coin Marshall, new guy who really performed well as well. I think I won't get pole this season, even Even though me and Typhoon, we had our plans ready for another tow like last season, we will. I don't think it'll be enough to get pole, but I think I will do decently in quali this season.
Yeah.
It's not competition.
Atlantis ninth is a good result. Yeah, I see that. But no, regardless, Silent took pole last season, and he's sitting there down sixth place. I'm trying to think where he was. I was on board with him, but I didn't know where he was. The British driver's history with this track. Rapalucas technically British, but Poland. The thing with Rapalucas is that Rapalucas, close one between Silent and Rapid, but Rapalucas won this race last season, and Silent, Scottish driver, took pole position last season. Callum, GSR Callum was on the podium last season as well in Tier 2. You also had this season CJ Pants, a British driver, on podium yesterday, P2. Kimbos, P4, so there you go. And even in Tier 1 and Tier 2, we saw 4-car DRS trains. When this race drives up, if there's a late race safety car, there is a safety car. If there's anything that gets this race providing the racing we want to see, do we see the 4-car DRS train, or do we see that DRS train that you're usually seeing at this track?
Probably, I mean, it's kind of easy to get bunched up if we're in, especially since there's really no margin for error, since many people practice at this track. Because it is such a historic track, people want to get a good result of their home race. I think if you make a mistake, they're going to be in your DRS, and then people are going to be stuck behind you, getting in DRS train. So I think there will be a DRS train once the race does dry up, because it is going to be a dry race at the end.
That is true. There's a lot of things and a lot of key factors you have to take into this race. Now, who goes out the latest in qualifying and get the best time? I know the track is very dry now, but right now it's GSR Hamilton on pole. Matty Mumu making his first start in a full-time ride into McLaren after GSR Callum left the league. Then you have Big Chungus also making his first start, who could possibly be replacing Ed Golbinski at Haas. So I'm going to have to be right back quickly. Polo God, I think you should take over and see how these guys do.
Okay. So, Silent is currently on a lap, he is currently down. GSR Hamilton is on a lap, he is currently up on his time, but barely, as Asian goes P2 with a 126.9. That is a very, very solid lap from him. As GSR Hamilton is coming around the final couple of corners, can he improve on this 126.8? He's coming across the line now, at a 126. Oh, he doesn't even improve. As Silent is coming through now. This is the guy I want to have a look at. He got
go to third.
5/10 status. Could go to
Pluto 6.
Pluto 6. Silent's down, so he won't be getting told.
Where's the other?
Milo is 4/10, so.
He goes 7th, best quality of the year so far for Utah Elephant. Matty Mumu is Matty Mumu, second.
He goes second. Oh, that was really close.
Rapid Extreme, 100th down. Behind him is the Torosso and Ferrari. Where does Rapid Extreme go? Not any better. The Ferrari and Torosso. Rex Ryan 5th. Milo
goes
Gaming.
quickest.
Oh my God.
5,000.
Oh, closest pole yet, Milo. Where does the Red Bull go? Out of 5. 6th. Where does Finn and Silent go? Silent spinning. Milo Gaming on pole. Williams 1-2. Oh my God.
This is deja vu of Tier 1 last season.
It is. And Silent spinning back around. Probably gonna get
Oh my goodness.
Soon. Look at the top 15. Oh, within 8 tenths.
The gap is
God.
8 tenths. This is absolutely insane.
Silent disqualified.
Silent's disqualified. He's starting at the back now.
Oh my God. What have we seen in this qualifying session? Milo Gaming.
On pole.
He's got to be happy about this one. Oh my God.
What a lap. What a 5,000th. Williams 1-2. Front row lockout for those two.
After what we thought into the season was going to be a domination by Williams, they started out so poorly to the season, except for Milo Gaming. Hamilton took his first pole last season, but this becomes the first and closest qualifying session. First time Williams got 1-2 in ARL, in Tier 2 at least. So,
Oh
Polo,
my
go down the order, I
goodness.
guess. Wow.
Okay, Milo Gaming takes a shock pole position, 5 seconds ahead of GSR Hamilton in P2. Manny Mumu takes a very impressive P3. Asian taking P4 with a 1:26.9 into the 27s now. Kugoda, Adam Fav, XRI, GSR Pluto, and Utah Elephant round out the top 10.
Good qualifying by Utah and good qualifying by Finn. Riles is down there. I want to mention the championship contenders 6th, 7th, and 9th could go to Adam Fav and Pluto, as we do see rain.
So very close between those three. This might benefit Milo as Milo I believe was decent. Well, no, actually, he kind of fell off in the wet. He was up there, but then in the dry he kind of fell off a cliff. So I think he could improve today. I don't know.
Burning Man says in chat,
See what
look at
happens.
Milo. Wow, that's insane. I don't know what to say. If there was any guy I did not expect to take pole position this season, after the start to the season, for sure had to be Milo Gaming. Oh my God,
Britain is the home of shock pole positions.
Yes, and Britain is the home for pole positions for British drivers, I'd say too. Because Data Lucas, every time a driver has took pole position here, it's been a European driver. So it's never been someone on our side of the world, for me at least, an American, which we would have expected yesterday, but it didn't happen. Okay, Polo, you go through your 3 favorites. I'll go through mine. You go
Oh
first.
my! Oh. Alright, first off, Milo Gaming, instant favorite. After a really, really good qualifying session for him, taking pole position on a track where I do believe he is very strong at. He takes pole, and I feel like he will convert it into a very, very good result. I don't think he will win, but I think he will take a very, very strong result and maybe get on the podium. Second one, Adam Fav. A bit further down the order than I expected, but I think, compared to last week, obviously, it's been not the worst qualifying session. Could have been worse, and I think he is known for driving well in the wet, and I think he will turn things around in the race, and I think he might also get a podium. And finally, Utah Elephant, because he had a very, very impressive qualifying session. I think he might turn around this mediocre start of the season he has, and I think he will get a good result because he has shown he has the pace, like in Bahrain.
He went here in GSR.
And the question is, will he handle the wet? I think he will.
Okay.
I think he will get a good result.
That's some great 3 favorites, but I gotta go with mine. Hey, look at this track for Hamilton. You know, this track for him, been very good to him in the past. But his race result, his race pace, here is very good, but he hasn't shown the pace as of recently until Austria. Austria is where he's turned things around. Is this where he continues to turn his things around and get on top and maybe get on the podium for the 2nd time in a row? There also is Kugoda back in P5. Kugoda in the championship battle. He's the lowest in 3rd place Mercedes Irish driver. We saw Polo, you took a pole position in the Mercedes as an Irish driver last season. Kugoda, can we have better luck than you did in the race? And I also have to go with GSR Pluto. And actually, no, I'm not going to go with someone different. I apologize. I'm going to go with back in 19th, Beatnik. Can he charge his way through the field from that far back? He's not sitting in a good position on points, but today he can improve things if the championship contenders have any trouble. You guys watch from the front of the pack. 5 red lights are about to go out. Here we go for the British Grand Prix, the home of F1. We are about to go, and we are go. We are lights out, and away we go. Side by side between the front 2. They're getting 3 wide in the middle of the pack. But Milo Gaming keeps the race lead side by side between Hamilton and him. Hamilton takes the race lead. Cars going off the back.
There's a bit of carbon fiber at the back. There's a Ferrari a bit off this Hellcat. I think he might have damage.
Matty Mumu gets past Milo. Milo drops down to 4th. Asian gets by him as well. Kugoda and Fab go wheel to wheel through turn 5 where K-Mag and Grosjean collided last year. Side by side, and Kugoda gets ahead. Utah Elephant dropping down the order. And Pluto has gone up to 7th, and there's yellow flag. Monsoon conditions,
Hamilton.
this is again. And looking at the cars, barely able to see where they're able to go. And Finn and Utah go side by side. Solberg gets passed by Silent and Thrasher, and Silent goes around.
Oh, his bad luck continues.
Second time running in this race, he goes around. Thrasher gets by Utah. Utah really struggling. And now through Cops Corner, XR Ryan sideways. And there's a car going off the racetrack. That is Asian. Kagoda's gained positions, and so is Adam Fab through this.
Hamilton's made a massive mistake. He's down into P6.
What's happened to Hamilton?
As well.
Some lags, slight half spin caused that possibly. But look where Kagoda has gone through the first lap already. 5th to 2nd, and as well as Pluto, 9th to 4th, and down the order. XR, Ryan, and Riles go. Those two going side by side for P10. And for this race lead, Manny Mumu, Kagoda. Kagoda to the race lead. Kagoda leads the first lap.
Oh, XR Ryan sideways. Oh my god, there's so much stuff going at the back. There's so many people so close together. Solberg's in the wall. Same as I think Riles hit him off.
Oh boy. Might not go over too well. Sideways there was Utah Elfin through turn 2, and side by side between Aishin and Chungus. Sideways around, they almost go. But the championship contenders, McLaren as well up at the front. So is Williams of Milo Gaming, who dropped down the order at the start of the race. Goes down 2 positions, and Hamilton down 4 positions now. Beatnik and XR Ryan. Beatnik goes by, and XR Ryan is still there to challenge, but Beatnik stays ahead.
Beatnik's had a good start to this race. From P19.
Big Chungus goes around.
Big Chungus is around, yes. Oh, Haas's awful luck continues.
Oh, and Pluto and Adam Fab try to go side by side through Cops Corner. Didn't work, but Pluto is there to challenge, and Adam Fab almost forces him in the grass as well.
Yeah, also these one of the
and there's yellow flag again.
No idea where that's coming from.
No, XB1.
Yeah, but all put them together.
So much happening.
I can't keep track.
I cannot either. Pluto and Adam Fab go side by side and wheel to wheel. There's door corner, and around goes Pluto! And Pluto saves
it! What a save from Pluto, but he's gonna lose a load of positions in the process.
Thrasher tried it on Beatnik from P10, not enough there for a position. XB1 and Squid try to go side by side with Hellcat, and Kagoda leads this lap and takes the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at lap 3. Monsoon conditions already. I don't see as much fog as last week, but still side by side between Squid Jr. and XB1 and Hellcat running off the racetrack, passing XB1, I would think illegally right there, but pitting is Solberg.
Yeah, oh, there's a bit of contact.
Yellow flag! Utah Elephant is one of them!
Utah Elephant! Oh no!
Oh, good start to this race. And that is all costed. And yeah, there's Hellcat's legal overtake right there on XPL and Squid right there. And contact, and sideways goes Hellcat.
Off the track as well.
Big Chungus goes through. He's trying to gain an XPL. He's trying to gain a position. Thrasher trying to beat Nick as well for P9. Not enough to make a move right there.
Yeah, Beatnik up into P9. He's just avoiding the trouble and is now in a very, very decent position considering he started at the back in the wet where it's really hard to overtake. A very good start by him.
I know you talk about Beatnik up in P10 positions, but how about Thrasher up 7 positions there? Down in P17. I've not seen him gain as much positions as he used to, but now he's maybe changing that today. He's definitely gaining a lot more. And now, for P5, that position gets close between Pluto, Hamilton, Aishin, and Finn. I know Pluto won't be too happy with Adam Fab. Maybe Pluto's fault, maybe Adam Fab, maybe a racing incident. You just don't know, because it was definitely close between the drivers, and they were fighting for their track position. But now, Riles gaining on Thrasher and goes to the inside, outside now. And for position for P10, Thrasher has some damage, but Riles gets ahead of Thrasher, and he is through. Big Chungus on Squid Jr. Big Chungus is ahead. Squid Jr. gonna try the switchback? Possibly. Yes, he does. Oh, Big Chungus cuts right in front of him, and Squid Jr. hits the back of him.
A bit of brake check. It looks like Big Chungus broke very early there. I know you have to brake early in the wet conditions, but It looked like there's a brake check there, but
Yellow flag!
yellow flag.
Hamilton!
It's Hamilton again.
Oh, what a good start
He
to
made
this
a
race he
massive
originally
mistake
had.
once again, and he's really struggling in the wet.
Oh, man. He's wanting that dry condition, dry patch to come right now. Squid Jr. and XB1, the two teammates battle once again for P14. Side by side right here. XB1 and Squid. Squid getting ahead right there. Pitting his Utah Elephant and JSC Hellcat. But enters for Solberg. Yeah, you know,
Yes.
it's a bold strategy, but it might just pay off. Later on, at least.
Yeah.
Purple sector 3.
Adapt. Yeah, I
Oh.
think the interest could be. I think
Yeah.
Solberg. I know he's like a very far behind the pack, but I think he might have done a mad one here with the inter strategy. He feels so stable through Abbey and turn 2 and 3.
He's not gaining as much as a Utah Elephant as you'd expect him to, but in the next few laps, Inners might be the bright choice. It might just be. We've seen that dry patch and the inner patch come around, I'd say really 2/4, not 2/4, but 2/5 into this race, I'd say usually. Around that area, Beatnik and Hamilton go side by side into Stoke Corner. Mercedes versus Williams. Two constructors teams up there in the top 4 this season, but side by side, and Hamilton is staying ahead for the time being, but Adam Fav is getting a Milo for a podium position. And Adam Fav is going to stay behind. Rasher in DRS range once that gets enabled with Riles. And XR Ryan is there to challenge as well. Beatnik gets by Hamilton, who's had another spin. No, that's lag. Hamilton's trying to dive down the inside again, and Beatnik, side by side. Beatnik goes
gets
ahead.
through.
As well as this P3 battle between Adam Fav and Milo Gaming. Yellow flag.
Yellow flag. I think that's a racing point. I think it was silent or.
Oh, punting.
speaking
Solberg and Utile. Right there. A little bit of a punt from Solberg into Utile. But Solberg gets hit in those intermediates. And fastest lap.
That's the fastest lap.
This field is going to be questioning when the move to inners is. How much faster is that, though, than everyone else? 146.3. That's barely faster. That's barely. So, take that into consideration. When did these guys go for inners, then? Oh, my God. This is crazy.
Couple laps time, maybe lap 6. No, not lap 6. Maybe up around lap 8, lap 9, maybe. I think that'll be
I
about
would
right
expect
time.
soon.
Hamilton has a second penalty. He's got an
that's not his
awful
first,
start
guys,
to the
so.
race.
Here comes Beatnik on
Best
fifth for
track
position
as well.
P7, side by side into Stowe. Keeping it clean so far in the straightaway, but Finn is there, and Beatnik is ahead through Stowe around the outside. But Finn might come to challenge back into the chicane. Finn is not going to try it. But he is going to try an exit, side by side. And XR Ryan gets by Thrasher, who Thrasher's coming to pit now. But a little train is kind of formed for P3. Adam Fav gets sideways.
Guys, this is a bit of time. He's going sideways again.
Finn off the racetrack.
Oh, Milo spins, and he touched, and Adam Fav is around.
There goes Adam Fav, the championship leader. Big implications for him, pulling right out in front of Beatnik. Luckily not resetting to the racetrack, but Hamilton gets ahead of that, and now Finn challenges Adam Fav, and around the outside, Adam Fav kind of forces it off, and Adam Fav goes around again, and out of the race!
Adam
Championship
Fav is out.
implications!
Oh my goodness! This could change the championship right here. Oh my goodness!
VSC. Now, Thrasher, Squid, Rapid Extreme, all in intermediates. And Finn has just hit Hamilton.
That second penalty is probably going to come because of how.
see it now.
Actually, no.
What'll happen
That's
there with Adam
surprising.
Fav? I know, Polo, you might have been focusing on it. I got into the stuff with the back for a minute, but what all happened?
Well,
then?
Milo spun. Then Asian went into Milo. Then Adam Fab went into Milo as well. And then he just spun off, trying to get his car back onto the racetrack.
And Pluto's trying to overtake it, but
As-
Milo Gaming gets a
Milo-
drive-through.
Oh no, that's
He couldn't
that's
even
hard.
exceed, even though he's the host of the lobby, which doesn't even help him anymore. And he's gonna serve it right now, but Asian comes to pit as well, maybe for intermediates. So Milo Gaming is really gonna be outside the points here. He's gonna need a miracle, just like Bahrain, to come back and finish in the points the way he wants to. Because if he doesn't sit here and finish in the points, Williams could sit there in the back of the constructors, where Hamilton's already had 2 penalties handed out from the game. It's still raining a ton. I'm surprised these inners actually working a ton for guys like Thrasher, Squid, and Solberg, as well as Rapid Extreme and Utah. But they have nothing to lose with how far back they are. And now with that pack, Pluto gets up to P3, where he's gonna need to be, considering the gap between him and Milo Gaming, or not Milo Gaming, the gap between him and Kagoda and Adam Fev.
Yeah. So it's now McLaren 2-3. Beatnik is in P4 again.
How?
I sound like a broken record here, but oh my god, he's just been incredible this race. Up to
15
P4.
positions. Oh my god. If he gets this podium, no one's ever got a podium from P19. That position. No one's ever got a win from P19. If he does this, that would be insane. I think best drive in ARL, but XB goes off the racetrack at turn 4, where Squid Jr. gets by him. The intermediates, though, where does that compare to Asian and Milo? Asian and Milo, the 10.7 second gap, 10.5 now. The inners are slightly getting better. It's getting slightly more drier and less wet. So these intermediates will come into play. Now, when do the leaders come in to go to the inners? Because Asian, XR Ryan, and Thrasher, who's down in P9, P10, P11, have already came in and pitted for their first pit stop of the race. But when do these guys come in? It's Pluto this time. Kagoda fastest lap though. So
On the way.
things might change with Kagoda and these guys. They might think, hey, is Kagoda just doing good in these wets, or is the inners not that good? What are they thinking?
Maybe they're trying to take a risk. Hamilton is in the pit. Remember last
Miles.
week he played the strategy absolutely perfectly on those intermediates. Is he going to try the exact same thing as last week and try and pit at the perfect timing? Will it pay off? We don't know.
Milo Gaming says out again. He's not going to go into inners. I know he wouldn't want to double stack, but he's going to get by Riles and probably his teammate here, maybe Pluto. But now, how do these intermediates compare to the guys who just pitted? Asian, purple sector 3 right there. And now, he's going to get by Hamilton. He's also going to get by Riles, but does not get by Pluto, which compared to where they were, it's about even. And Thrasher takes the fastest laps. Now Solberg does. Both Toro and Honda drivers taking that fastest lap and stealing away from each other.
Yeah, now it looks like the inners are definitely the quicker tire with these fastest lap coming in.
I'm surprised there's been no safety car yet, especially for Adam Fab's hit. I thought that would be easily a safety car, but it's 5 seconds for Hellcat for speeding in the pit lane at this point in the race. But Thrasher, Big Chungus, P10, they're going to come wheel to wheel soon. But Milo Gaming is already really screwed here where he's at. He's going to need a pit again. And now Big Chungus tries it down the inside of Thrasher. Thrasher leaves some room, but Big Chungus hits him and around they go. And flying up into the air, Thrasher went. Oh, and pulling in front of the circuit.
Was there any contact to anyone? No, it didn't look like it.
Thrasher,
Thankfully,
yeah, that, I believe. But leaders pit. Enoch, does he pit with Kagoda? He does. Finn does as well. Milo's gonna have to.
I think the double stack will work just about because Kagoda has a big gap to Beatnik.
Yeah, but Beatnik's still gonna lose at least 2 seconds though. I mean, with the double stack, with how painful it is in this game, it's horrible. Milo Gaming pits again, and he is speeding. I saw that one coming. Now, Pluto pitted a lap or 2 earlier in these intermediates, and so did Asian. Where does Pluto come out compared to these guys? Pluto was originally running P3. Now where does he come to his teammate? Asian fastest lap, but Pluto is behind his teammate Matty Mumu there as they come out of the pits, and Asian up to 4th. Milo Gaming dropping down the order as well.
Hamilton's up to 5th. He's jumped Beatnik in the pits massively.
I would.
So.
Oh, sorry, cut it. But I wouldn't say it's always the reserve's fault with that. With the Big Chungus and Thrasher incident, I feel like that was slightly a racing incident, or maybe just slightly Big Chungus' fault. I don't know where you could kind of put the blame at. And XB does retire from the race. second retirement. But
Okay.
I don't know where you could put the blame at, because Thrasher barely gave room, and Big Chungus kind of went up into him. So, I mean, it was slightly both at fault, but I don't really know who you could put the blame at. What were you going to say, Polo, before I cut you off again?
Um, Asian and Hamilton, massive, and Riles, completely jumped Beatnik in the pits because of that double step. So,
They jumped Finn as well, because the undercut. Undercut is very powerful here. And we saw how much in Hungary and Austria, how much quickly it got dry. Expectedly, it's probably halfway, sometime around there, to get dry.
yes, this is really interesting race so far.
Oh, going through Meggett and Beckett, Solberg and Ryan are close. 4P9. Ryan hasn't really had many finishes this season. Hasn't really had many good finishes this season after his podium in Germany. Ever since then, it's really gone downhill, and he's not had the finishes he's wanted. He's been outside the points half of the time. But now it's a battle for P9 again. XR Ryan staying ahead for position, but Finn, who got jumped there, is down in P11 and Asian. You see the track getting drier. Big chunk is 5 seconds.
Hamilton says to pass his lap.
So Ryan and Solberg close again. Now Finn and Silent have gotten that train after Silent's lap 1 spin, and Milo Gaming down outside the points. He's going to need a safety car at this point. He's going to need a lot of luck for this race to go the right way for him, and he needs it for sure if he wants to contend back toward that championship and have some sort of fight with anyone in that top 3.
Yes, Asian now is getting on Pluto bit by bit. The gap's now 7-10. Very interesting podium fight in those two. See how that's going to play out.
If this was the way it stands right now, Matty Mumu would take his first podium. You know, in Tier 3 we have 15 different guys who've been on podium this season. I'll have to check for Tier 2, but hey, regardless of that, Matty Mumu would take his first podium, and there's been, I think, the second double podium this season. Mercedes got one earlier this season,
Singapore.
I think. No, actually,
Singapore.
Hellcats actually retired through the pit lane. So that's a yellow flag right there. Solberg trying to pass XR Ryan on the exit of the corner of Maggots and Beckett's. Cannot do it right there. He's just stuck behind him, and Squid Jr.'s got a time penalty as well. 3 retirements through this race already. Now, heading into the hangar straight, and now into Stowe. Side by side, Solberg getting ahead. Pagoda taking the fastest lap, and Solberg is ahead of XR Ryan. Well, the 2 teammates get very close with Finn and Silent, and running off at Stowe. Those 2 got very close. And now Silent diving down the inside, right there in Finn.
Yeah, a bit of an optimistic move from Silent, but he needs to turn his race around.
He's trying every move he can to get on his teammate. He wants to just get by his teammate here, because if he doesn't, he's going to be stuck behind them, and he needs to get to XR Ryan, who goes off the racetrack.
Yeah, he just goes completely wide there. I think he's lost the car.
Love how Hellcats Ghost and car who's retired is in the way of these guys. But Finn, XR Ryan, and Silent close again. A little train between them. 3 cars battling here. And now Finn behind XR Ryan, trying to dive it down the inside, trying to find a move on him that'll make it work. And Silent to the outside. Finn sideways. But Silent is getting held up by his teammate now, which is allowing Solberg to pull away from XR Ryan to pull away from these guys.
Yeah, it's Silent. He's gonna
Oh, and the cops!
go for it. Optimistic move with the cops. No, he's gonna back off a little
Exit
bit.
of the corner, though! No, not enough.
He got 4 exit.
Milo got by Squid Jr. as we were talking right there. And Big Chungus got closer to Beatnik as well. And Kagoda takes the fastest lap. It's been a fastest lap difference of trains between drivers. Finn next to Ryan go side by side of the corner, and almost a collision right there. But I think Silent's going to try to make it 3 wide. Side by side.
Yeah, it is 3 wide. Is he going to get the move done? Is he going to get a double overtake on these 2? Around the outside. He's going to have the inside line heading into the corner. He gets the move done, but there's contact.
Oh, and around they go!
I think that was Finn who went into the back of Ryan and caused him to spin. The Silent barely touched him.
And again, XR Ryan's going around again! contact with Squid! And you cannot go side by side there in that final corner. Yeah, I don't get it there. That's weird. That was a weird incident, but I really don't get it. How did that happen? Seriously. No, that really made no sense how that all happened because, with all that being said, XR Ryan made a move on Silent there, hitting him, but you gotta put that in overtake of the season, or at least a nomination. Asian, 3-second time penalty. And Adam Fab says he probably would have been third or possibly second at this point. Who knows what it could have been? I mean, it's just a matter of time and a matter of what could have happened if a safety car does come out. I mean, we could have easily seen a safety car from all that, or a VSC at least. We don't know. Yeah, don't know if Finn actually touched Ryan. Don't know. That's what someone said. Axe. That's what he said. Team leader racing.
Anyways, I just want to mention Kagoda has been absolutely phenomenal in these wet conditions, pulling a 10-second gap to Matty Mumu. Oh, and I think he's gonna run away with this unless there's a safety car. Honestly, I'm surprised there hasn't been one with the amount of collisions that's happened.
It is getting drier and drier, though. I will say, yeah, you do expect it the track to dry up pretty soon. It is getting drier and drier every second we talk, and you know, I mean, the track is changing a ton. Penalties will massively matter. Right there, Solberg gets one. Right there, yeah, I mean, penalties will massively matter because of where Riles and Hamilton run. 5.6 seconds between each other. XR Ryan and Rapid Extreme. These two collided earlier this season back in Spain. So, trying to go side by side between these two might not work and might not end well. But Rapid Extreme is gaining for 15th place. This is into turn 1. XR Ryan stays ahead. For P7 there is Beatnik gaining on Riles, while Big Chungus gains on him. And something I just hope in the next week is that we have a dry race in Italy. That's something I hope. I really hope we do.
Especially
while we
speak.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I just said especially until I saw him just going.
While we speak, Pluto games on Matty Mumu, and Kagoda continues to extend that gap. And purple sector 2 by Hamilton.
I'm just trying to make a comeback drive. Although, looking at penalties, he has 2 penalties. He got 4 warnings on lap 1.
Whoa. Maybe some of them might have been collisions, but still, I mean, that's insane.
Yeah,
we're halfway through this race already.
Yeah, he has 2 penalties or a warning. Kagoda has nothing. Matty Mumu has nothing. Pluto has nothing. Asian has a penalty.
Italy 6 week, yeah. I wouldn't say Kagoda's got this race won. I mean, I'll jinx it if you want me to, but I wouldn't say Kagoda's got this race won as Matty Mumu gets passed by Pluto. But I wouldn't say Kagoda has this race won because think about this: Divas 2K7, Dado Lucas spun out of a podium position yesterday while being up front. Think about that. Just think about that. I know Kagoda usually would make a mistake, but just think about that for a second. Take that into consideration.
Could be like a tier 3 where it dries up at the end, but it's not dry enough for
big
truck.
chungus.
Gonna happen.
Lost traction there. And Matty Mumu is definitely losing time now because Asian is gaining on him now for P3. Thrasher gets by Squid Jr. there as well for P13. Thrasher does have some damage from that incident earlier. Oh, and Thrasher almost thought he was clear of Squid, and he almost hit the back of him and almost spun him out. But heading into Cop's corner, they're going to try to go side by side. Not going to work. Kagoda, fastest lap for the 5th time this racing. Thrasher hits the back of Squid. And around they go.
Contact. I think that's a racing incident because Squid kind of went slowly through there, and Thrasher thought, I don't know. It's either Thrasher's fault or a racing incident, in my opinion. He spun again.
Down that much. Second time into by Squid. And down the order, down to 17th.
Disappointing weekend for Alfa Romeo.
Lap 15 out of 26. Asian getting close to Matty Mumu as well for P3. The positions might trade again because now Asian goes down the inside and goes by Matty Mumu. He's ahead for P3.
So remember, again, penalties is gonna affect, because Matty Mumu has no warnings. However, Asian does have a penalty, so as long as Matty Mumu keeps within 3 seconds, he still has that podium intact.
I don't want to jinx anything, but if anything does happen, Pluto is gaining on Kagoda right now for that race lead, just slightly. He lost time right there, but he is gaining, and keep that in mind. He's staying in that gap more than Matty Mumu was. And, you know, you could say, oh yeah, Pluto's caught up to them, but, you know, you just don't know. Yellow flag, that's Utah Elephant off the racetrack as well now, down in P16. Well, how will this all go at the end? When does it dry up? Does it dry up at the very end of the race, but is it enough for dry tires? Does Kagoda try anything and risk it? Just in case there's a safety car and he's an advantage and everyone else pits, what happens? There could easily be a safety car, but we've yet to see one. Why has that been why? Why have we yet to see a safety car? I'm kind of surprised why that has kind of been that way with no safety car yet. I'm shocked, especially with Adam Fab's crash.
Yeah, like there's been, it's been one of the dirtier races, but there has been no safety car.
Yeah. I mean, from the back of the field, yeah, but I wouldn't say from the front of the field. Finn picks up a penalty. I wouldn't say. I mean, there's certain races that were definitely way dirtier. Bahrain being one of them, for sure. Singapore being a part of that. There's been a few races as well that's just been flat out dirty, and just a lot of safety cars. But we still saw good racing in Singapore. We still saw good racing in Bahrain. But it's like we had many safety cars that prevented people pulling away or having the better racers, or better races, the better battles. And now Kagoda's pulled out to a big Pluto. I've talked to Kagoda, you know, about being the tier 1 reserve. If people aren't there, he could be possibly winning tier 1 tomorrow. So if Kagoda is there, tier 1, he could be one of the guys who's there. So, I mean, if he's available, he would be one of the guys. And Milo and Finn try to go side by side in the cops corner. Milo Gaming gets out ahead, but they're side by side off the exit. Kagoda taking the fastest lap again. Oh. And Finn almost hits the back of him. That was close. And that could have ended pretty badly because we don't know what that could have been. Adam Fab, I might need you tomorrow, but I will see what happens. I will let you guys know before this. I know a Red Bull driver, Gautier, won't make it, so probably might need you. All that being said. Rapid stream penalty. So, yeah, just kind of waiting for the safety car, I guess, right? I mean, that's the only thing you can be waiting for at this point, because of how things are going. Beating it, gaining on Riles for P6. Riles, decent position for him, but he's the only Red Bull left running.
Yeah, Hamilton is 9 seconds of penalties now, and I think Riles is nothing. So, it's 2 warnings. So, all he has to do is keep in that 9-second gap, and he has P5. So, interesting. How?
Oh, Rapid Extreme is spun!
Oh no.
And Utile almost hits him as well. Points finished last week, not so well for Rapid Extreme today. Dry in 5 minutes. Apparently from hearing, dry in 5 minutes. So, approximately 5 laps. We can see the dry tires come on at the end of the race. But, you know what this reminds me of? 2008 Brazil. Like, when the right time is to go on the other tires. When the right time is in 2008 Spa. Because those last few laps, you can gain so much more time. It is Italy next. It's Italy, then Germany. But the thing is, there's so much time that could be gained from drivers going under the softer tires. Or just on dry tires when it's a wet racetrack. When, say, it's 3 to go, 4 to go, when it's time to go on them. But we could also see someone stay out the... Remember, I don't know if you remember in LDRL, Polo, Hungary, LSJ Rundle was under a race ban this week, in ARL, stayed out the whole race And there's a yellow flag. That's for Utah Elephant.
Utah Elephant.
Yeah, the thing is, stayed out the whole race on medium tires. Waited to go to the pits on the final lap when it was just wet enough. He was leading by 6 seconds. He came up to almost win the race from 20 seconds back. I'm thinking now with Kagoda's gap, does Kagoda decide to stay out? Does what happens? Because if that track gets so dry toward the end, does anyone kind of think about staying out or going to pit very early and maybe messing up the strategy? We saw how much Hamilton got the strategy right last week in that 36 lap race. It's a 26 lap race, so it could really change a ton of Rapid Extreme is pitting. Yeah, that's the thing, Polo, because I could be sitting here, you know, on inners, and it dries up with fully dry, or not fully dry, but dries up at lap 20, fully dry at lap 23, lap 24, but I wait to pit till then, or I can stay out. There's a lot of different strategies that people could pull that could really change the running order, and we could see maybe some underdogs finish very well. We could see Silent in the points, higher up in the points. We could see Riles higher up in the points. We could see many different strategies pay off here in this race because of what's going on. I mean, Rapid Extreme is pitted for inners, but it's apparently going to be dry in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how people are going to do this. I think Kagoda might take the risk and keep for softs at the end because he has that gap. And if Pluto does stay out on the inners, he might be vulnerable to Kagoda. So any which way, unless the safety car comes out, don't want to jinx it, but
well, you will.
Kagoda's race. This is Kagoda's race to lose, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking though, because there's guys near each other like Finn and Milo who could easily collide right there. Oh my God, that's close right there. Heading into turn 2, turn 3 almost, and now Finn dives down the inside of Milo Gaming, side by side. Finn gets ahead. Milo's still side by side. Oh, there's contact.
Oh, and there's almost this contact.
Finn getting ahead there for P11. I'm just gonna think about how much this has changed. Pluto started P9, Kagoda started P5, Matty Moon started P4. The front three was Milo, Hamilton, and I'm trying to think who else it was. It was Adam Fab, I think, right? I don't remember who it was, but it was someone else in third. And now Milo Gaming gets a traction on Finn, and they go side by side into Cop's corner. They're gonna make it through this time, but side by side on the exit. They're side by side again and making contact and banging wheels. Milo Gaming goes ahead. Beatnik gets ahead of Riles as well. Milo Gaming, what a move!
Yeah. Around Cops as well, a corner where you usually could not overtake.
No. And it is getting slightly drier again, but when does this rain stop? Drive 5. We saw that 5 minutes ago. How does it take? 16-second gap. Kagoda has as well. Hamilton, another penalty.
12 seconds now, that is. Oh, Hamilton's gone!
Into the gravel!
That's
a yellow flag. But he's gonna almost spin it again. Does he have a puncture or something? I would expect Solberg to have the puncture if anyone does, because he's been on the intermediates for 17 laps. But the track is dry. It is dry.
Oh, dry conditions.
The rain is stopped. And when do you go to the softs if you go to the softs? Or what do? Do you stay out? Is there enough time to stay out? What all goes on in this Grand Prix to end the Grand Prix at Silverstone? Milo and Finn battle again for P11. What an amazing battle this has been between the two Brits. And now, heading into Sector 2, Finn does not make the move, but Utile and Squid are the first to pit for this. Yeah, I know it's not dry enough, but when do you go? When do you go? These two might be going for this early. Milo and Finn about to go wheel to wheel, but I have to be right back. Hey, let me know how this goes, and once I come back.
Pluto's pitting. Pluto is coming in with Asians in the pit. Manny Mooley's coming in. Beatnik, I'm not sure if Beatnik's coming in. Is he going to stay out? Beatnik stays out. Kagoda stays out. Both Mercedes cars stay out. Is this too... I think it's a bit too early for the softs. I'm not sure. I'm mad. Oh, what's going on? Oh, never mind, never mind. There's a bit of a lag there. They're all going on the softs now. Or is Matty Moon going on the innings?
Oh, we see people pitting.
Matty
It's
Moon
getting
is
drier and
actually
drier.
bottling the strategy. He pitted for inners
Oh, Utah Elephants left the session now as well. Make sure you get him back in here. And oh man, and Pluto's gone to the softs, but the track looks to be almost dry. Yeah, it's dry enough. Now, where does he gain here on Solberg? 3.9. Yeah, he's losing time. It might be a lap or two too early. Oh man, Matty Moomoo's bottled this one, but this gap, he's actually gaining on Asian now. He's gaining on Asian. The inners are really working right now. The track is still a little bit wet. It's not even dry enough. And the gap between the race lead, it might be a Mercedes 1-2 at the end of this. It is Kagoda, Beatnik. Could this possibly be the... And Kagoda pits!
Oh.
Does Beatnik stay out? How long does he stay out if he does? This all changes. Matty Mumu on the inners goes by.
Yeah, that is the soft tires for Kagoda.
Beatnik cannot... he's going to have to try something different. There's no way. There's no way. He's going to have to try something different. Because now... Yeah, there's the Renault pitting, but now Utile's Ghosted car goes off. But I'm curious because Kagoda's gonna come out here almost in the race lead, but the inners have been working better for Solberg compared to Pluto right now. I'm looking at that gap. That gap between inners and softs are working so much better. So does Beatnik come for P19 to win this? Now I know the track is still wet, but does it stay this way? It's still decently wet.
Oh, this is... I mean, the gap between...
Look at the gap!
The
gap is gaining! Beatnik is gaining!
Beatnik is gaining! Oh my goodness!
On the inners, on a dry track! He has to try something!
I think...
He has to try something different to win a
Tier 3 all
race.
over again. This is Tier 3 all over again. It's dry, but it's not dry enough for the...
Not getting as much anymore, but still, everyone who's gone into the softs has bottled it, and Thrasher on the 16-lap intermediates up to 9th, Matty Mumu up to 5th, or 6th, gonna be 5th, and Big Chungus and Solberg are currently on the podium with the Mercedes 1-2. Beatnik is probably doing it to stay wet the track. Beatnik's probably just saying, hey, if there's any rain left, make it come.
Big Chungus has a penalty, and he has a 5-second boot with that.
Now he's losing time. Now he's losing time. There you go.
Yeah.
Now might be the right time to go in the softs if anyone does. But Beatnik had to try something. He's losing a little bit of time, but he's gained slightly back. 3.0 now. He's gained that slightly back. 2.9. Just enabled though.
Enabled.
Oh. Now does Kagoda have pens compared to Beatnik? That's a good question. Kagoda has kept it penalty free. Beatnik has a penalty though.
Yeah.
3.1 that gap. And now you'd expect DRS to be enabled, which it has been, and now you'd expect the drier conditions, the drier tires to work out.
The likes of Milo, the likes of Finn, the likes of Silent, Hamilton are going to be absolutely rapid on the softs. As Hamilton is massively gaining on Thrasher now, the softs are definitely
Yellow
quicker.
flag! Thrasher's pitted! He almost runs into Hamilton. Squid Jr.'s off. Down at turn 3, down toward turn 4. Thrasher's pitting as well now. He has a good gap over Finn, so this might be able to work now for his favor to be able to get up there. And Beatnik. Now, where does Pluto stand compared to these guys? Does he come back and fight that P2? He's only 20 seconds behind. But is it enough with this track drying up? How much does the track dry up? He's gaining, but how much will it be? Beatnik, can he hold on to a 1-2 for Mercedes? This would be the first 1-2 in this league yet. Big Chungus had a collision earlier. Big Chungus, a 5-second penalty, and also another penalty as well. He cannot pick up another warning. Thrasher pits, and Pluto's got a time penalty.
think everyone ahead has a penalty anyway, so. But Beatnik is still staying out as Big Chung is pissed.
Yep.
Same with Solberg.
There you go. There's their podium's gone. I'm not saying it would have stayed, but I'm just saying there's their chance at podiums if they stayed out gone. Matty Mumu stays out though. Why did Matty Mumu stay out? Hamilton has spun!
Hamilton's completely gone off.
That's the fourth time this race.
Goodness.
If he somehow gets points, I don't know what to say. And Big Chungus goes on to softs. So does Solberg. Now Asian's gonna pass them. And Pluto's gap to Beatnik is 15 seconds now. Ryle's fastest lap.
Ryle's gonna get past both of them? The answer is yes.
Silent fastest lap, but he has the better softs, so I'm gonna wonder. Ryle's is close to a lap car, which is Rapid Extreme. His Rocket League teammate now just Ryle's get from DRS, but Big Chungus dives down the inside, and they're side by side through turn 5. A little bit of contact, and Ryle's goes off the racetrack.
Oh, there's a bit of a push up there. You can't really make a move through through that corner. But
I think Beatnik has to be our driver of the day. If anyone picks his driver of the day. 19th to 2nd. Everyone who 5th from Kagoda on the grid. 9th from Pluto. 19th from Beatnik. Wow.
he has 2 laps to keep it. He has 2 laps to keep a 12-second gap. No matter what, he is getting a podium because of how big the gap is from Asian to Pluto. Because Matty Moon is gonna completely fall off on these races. Question is, yes.
For this. Big Chungus, Ryle's gaining a Big Chungus, Pluto taking the fastest lap, so Pluto, even if he don't get second, he still wants that fastest lap point, which considering it was Milo getting the pole point, Milo's still gonna get a point, which he's outside the points for. So, Rapid Extreme and Squid Jr., they're in a battle for P16. But, Matty Mumu gets passed by Asian. And now that gap between Beatnik and Pluto are 9 seconds. I know Beatnik's gonna fight this one hard. This is gonna be an interesting one. Silent taking the fastest lap now. It's all gonna be a game of fastest lap. Now, remember, if you're outside the points and you get fastest lap, you get the fastest lap, but you don't take the point for it. So, does anyone else in the top 10 take the point for it? Does anyone in the top 10 take the point for it? What'll happen?
Pluto
now,
is...
DRS for Riles. Milo Gaming fastest lap.
Pluto is gaining about 3 seconds a sector.
Yeah, this is over.
Pluto's gonna get Beatnik easily.
Thrasher fastest lap outside the top 10 though. And Finn and Milo, or actually Hamilton, the teammate of Milo. Milo's right there as well to challenge this. But side by side at turn 5, Thrasher picking up a penalty, and off goes Thrasher.
Milo go through.
Rapid Extreme ignoring the yellow flag, but now we come to the final lap of the Grand Prix. Kagoda leads. Solberg takes a penalty, but now for P2, what could have been the first 1-2 in this race, in this league, was Singapore. Was also Alfa Romeo back in Italy. Today it could have happened. Pluto takes the fastest lap, and now gaining on Beatnik. For P2, he's got to gain in the right position. He goes to the outside, side by side. Pluto goes ahead of Beatnik, and now the championship has changed again.
Yes, it's a 1-2.
Now does Asian gain for that podium spot? Big Chungus. Solberg gaining on Riles as well for P7. Milo Gaming by Finn. So if Milo takes that fastest, and the round goes Finn. If Milo Gaming took that fastest lap, would he be in the top 10? I think so right now, but now Finn is spun round. And Matty Mumu and Chungus. Big Chungus goes by. Riles goes by. And now, P3. Asian and Beatnik. How does this all turn out? Heading to the final sector, final time. It is Kagoda.
Asian can't get another warning, or else he will get a penalty. So if Asian makes any mistake here, he will get another penalty, and I don't think it will be enough to get
Kagoda takes the championship lead and takes his second win of the season with the fastest lap. Kagoda wins in Britain. P3. It's all gonna matter at this final sector. Will it be a photo finish now? Pluto is gonna come home to take second, but Big Chungus and another person just picked up a penalty. Thrasher comes home P13, but now for P3, B-Nick and Asian. Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be a
Oh
drag
my
to the finish
goodness.
line. Asian
Oh,
runs to the
it's
back of
contact.
him, punts him. Now Asian drives through.
Oh, he gets him.
Asian goes by, and Asian is gonna take P3, but will it be off of penalties? Asian takes it, and B-Nick 19th to 4th, and now to the finish line. Solberg and Riles. Riles ahead, and Big Chungus fastest lap. Riles gets in the top
That's
5.
wild.
Matty Mumu and Silent though. Silent is gonna get P7.
Good result for him. Mainu 9th. Oh, I feel really bad. He bottled the strategy.
Fastest lap though
He
for
was.
Solberg now. Does Milo Gaming take it on this final corner, final lap? He is not gonna take it. It's gonna be Solberg with the fastest lap, but congratulations to Kagoda taking the championship lead, and Hamilton and Finn go to the line. It is Finn getting P11. And the championship lead for Kagoda.
Hamilton finishes from second. Really bad day for the Williams boys, considering it was a 1-2 lockout from those two.
Mercedes back on top
Irish.
in Tier 2. And they extend their championship lead over Red Bull after Red Bull has been gaining on them so much. Now, Beatnik won in preseason, Kagoda won in Bahrain, and it was in Singapore, Beatnik winning the race, but it was silent last season as well. But now, Mercedes are back on top. It's been 3 different winners on 3 races, been the championship 3 as well. The big 3 battling it out and winning the race. I think that's the biggest margin gap for race victory between this league. 25 seconds.
Might have to look at that, because that was a great race from Kagoda. A very, very shocking turn of events.
No safety car, though.
No safety car.
Yeah. How? And look at the top 7 on the grid. 5th, 9th, 4th, 19th, 12th, 8th, 20th. Silent from P20. Goes to 7th after a spin earlier this race. A great recovery drive from him.
Phoenix so close making history. Getting everything put in 19th position.
I mean, we've seen it from P20 before, but we've never seen it from that grid spot. And now we have post-race interviews going on. Oh my god, wow, what a race that was. Finish mainly. I don't know about the race. The race wasn't too good, but the safety, or not the safety car, the finish was probably the best part out of that. And I think we gotta agree on that one. Coda's here, Asian's here, Pluto's here. I'm gonna grab Beatnik as well, because what a finish that was after state as well. Kagoda, I think you're first this time. Hey. Race win and championship lead, that's what it's going to take from this one. Changing it around after the last 2 races have been a struggle for you. Not on the podium, but today it is the race win, and it is also the championship lead. Make sure you include your audio. How about that one?
To be honest, that first lap was just, I don't know how I gained 5 positions. And I just, there's part of the race, I think it was like lap 6 to about lap 10 or something, where it was, the full wets were, like, I really should have been on the enters, but the full wets were overheating, and they didn't feel that bad, but I just thought it was a bit early, and because the rain was still quite heavy. But yeah, the end of it was unlucky for Beatnik. I think he lost it in the final corner or something for 3rd.
Yeah.
But, yeah, great race.
Now, tell me about the race gap. That's the longest gap and the biggest margin for the race win in ARL history today with this one. But I've got to ask with all this. It almost looked like a 1-2 between Mercedes. First team to take it with no penalties this time. But tell me about this. The championship lead now you take with all this being said.
Yeah, I mean, it probably could have been a 1-2 if Beatnik actually pitted like a lap after everyone else, like a lap after I did, sorry. I probably should have stayed out a bit longer because conditions were still very damp and I was losing it a bit. But it was definitely better to go into the dry tires, I think.
Um, second win of the season. Second win in Tier 2. Looked like you had the championship lead. It looked like you were going to win away with it. The past two races haven't shown so, and now it's been a battle between your championship rivals, Pluto and Adam Fav. What have you got to say about the championship battle?
I mean, there's still 5 or 6 races left or something, but it's not over yet. The last 2 races just, I mean, I was leading in Austria, and then the connection issues in Hungary, sorry, and Austria was just, I think, unlucky. I probably had the pace, but I just, after all the safety cars and stuff, a couple of mistakes, I just couldn't really get back into the race.
Well, a lot went on today in the race, and you extended P1, so in the championship. So congratulations on that. Polo, do you have any questions for Kagoda?
No, I don't have any questions for Goda. Congrats on a dominating race. Mercedes Irish driver on the top step of the podium.
One thing I had to do in Britain last year. And a Mercedes as well, so yeah. But even better, I think, with this finish, Pluto, P2. Pluto, make sure your audio's included. I've got to ask you, those last few laps, was it too early? You mean you gone from P5, P6, and then at the right time, when it was the right time, you gone up to P2 and finished there, and kept that championship battle a little bit closer than we thought it would have been.
Yeah, it was. It was too early. The track looked dry enough for the softs, but it was so cold. The car was sliding everywhere. So I lost time to Matt, who went onto the wrong tires in his pit stop. I thought he was gonna get me, but then the tires switched over, and I got the lead on him.
Yeah, they did, and I've got to ask for sure with how this went. Championship battle, though. I know you still might want to reflect on that slightly, but you're gonna lose the championship lead, or lose the championship lead from what it looked like to be today. But P9 to P2, and those last few laps, P5 to P2 in those last 3-4 laps. Your teammate battled you today. How did you feel about this race, and how did you feel about the change with Callum and Matty Mumu? Because I know that's going to be a beneficial one to the constructor standings for you guys.
Yeah, I don't really know how I got up to P2 in the first place. Since I got spun by Adam through Stowe, I thought it was race over for me. But yeah, and with the constructors, it's great to have Matt because, as you saw, it was a P2 at one point.
Yeah, it was P2 at one point.
Yeah, he's done a good race for him so far. He's just unlucky about the pit stop.
Do you think you guys now actually have a constructors battle since you actually have 2 cars competing instead of 1 car for the constructors battle this time?
It's a little unfair to say we only had 1 car competing because Callum was all right. He was always in good positions, but he let it slip at the end. But Matt's shown that he has the pace to stay up with the quick ones at the front. So yeah, I think we have a better chance now.
Last season in Italy, you probably should have won. Same thing with Germany. In Tier 2, that's when you came into the league. Those 2 races, those 2 first race weekends, were your first 2 races in this league.
Yep.
How do you look into next time out this season in Italy and Germany, since those are 2 next races?
I think Italy is going to be a bit harder than last season, seeing as we've got Adam, Kagoda, all the quick ones this time. And last time I was kind of in a race on my own because I was on the alternate strategy, but I don't think that's going to work, seeing as it's 50% now. But yeah, Italy's going to be a big mind game, I think, with DRS and DRS zones. But Germany, I think I've got the pace to win. Well, I hope so anyway.
Tell me about starting P9 and your drive up to P2, and after pitting to the softs too early for P5 to P2 and those final laps, the battle with Beatnik and the battle with Matty Mumu, your teammate this race. Actually having the battle this time and actually being up there. I'm not saying you weren't up there, but I'm just saying actually being up there when at this track you probably didn't expect yourself to be up there as much. What was your expectations compared to your actual finishing position?
Well, my expectation was about 5th. I didn't think I'd be that quick here. But yeah, the interchanging conditions really helped me. And I don't remember that many overtakes. I think people just spun in front of me, and then there was the virtual safety car where I got past Asian on the outside. But then he was slow because of the pit stop. The wrong time. But yeah, not really sure how I got to P2.
Well, good result from you, and you keep that championship lead, not as extending as much with Kagoda. So
Is Kagoda not past me?
Kagoda has,
Yeah, I'm
but
ahead
he
by
doesn't
4
extend as much.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
As
I
if
thought he
you
was
would,
ahead.
if you were P3. Yeah. Polo, do you have any questions for Pluto?
What was your mindset when Adam Fab spun you at Stowe?
I wasn't too angry because I somehow managed to keep it going pointing the right direction. I only lost. I think I came. Where did I go down to? It was about 8th, 7th. I don't remember where I was.
You were like behind me by like 2 seconds.
I know I was behind Hamilton, but then he span off in front of me. And yeah, I just managed to pull it back with pace. But yeah, I was pissed off because he didn't leave any room on the inside. I didn't clip it, but I'm not gonna appeal it or anything because he DNF'd, so there's no point. Yeah, I was pissed off.
Well, congratulations on the P2 finish. Polo, how about you get to Asian and interview him? I've not really let you get some interviews, but get to Asian.
Okay.
Make sure your audience included Asian.
Asian, congrats on that P3. Very had to get that podium very late with that last corner pretty much move on Beatnik. How'd you feel getting I believe your second podium in ARL?
Well, I'm not really trying to push myself too much to get podiums. I'm just trying to help the team out here, not trying to get the drivers or anything. It's too late for me to do that. I'm just trying to get myself some good expectations for next season. I think with that podium, I've really built up my confidence.
Yeah, you definitely showed some excellent pace, especially in the wet period. You were battling Matty Mumu at one point. Well, came behind him anyways. You definitely showed you do have the pace to fight at the front. Honestly, I feel like you could be a race winner in one of the coming races. Honestly, when it became dry, did you think when you pitted on straight onto the softs, were you like? Do you think, okay, since some people haven't pitted, am I going to get a podium? Or did you think this might not be the best strategy call and I might not get a good result? What was your mindset?
I actually said in my party to my mates, I said, I think I screwed up here. And I said, I think it's going to be dry around lap 20. So we said pit around lap 20. They're not in the race, so. But I think when I saw, like, Solberg, Beatnik, and all that go past me, it really did like put some doubt in me, and especially when I did Grosjean in the pits, and that was quite embarrassing for myself. But I mean, it was just luck, I think, to myself to just actually try and get back up there, because the tyres were cold as ice, and I was really struggling in the fast laps that I got on them. I think once the tyre change happened, they became really impactful. So it was a good race for myself, but I mean, other people deserve that podium more than me, to be fair to myself. But, you know, it's a good result for the team at least.
Yeah, good result. Obviously, there was a bit of one thing I'm going to mention that definitely helped you getting that podium. Matty Mumu made the wrong strategy call, hitting onto inters instead of the softs. I think if he did pit for those softs, I think he would have gotten the podium.
Yeah, it's just unlucky for him. You know, I'm not sure whether he did forget to change it to inters or softs, but he really deserved that podium instead of me, so it's unlucky for him. But I mean, you know, what can you do about it? It's no one's fault really. It's just a mistake that nobody wants to make, and I think it's just unlucky, to be fair.
I was
Could I
told
just
this
pop in
in
there?
my WOR race on Thursday. because I got a lucky P3 in that race as well. That it's like in racing, you're gonna get lucky and you're gonna get unlucky.
Yeah.
Like in racing, there's like moments that can change the outcome of a race. You could have someone absolutely dominating the race, and then suddenly the weather changes and they screw up the strategy, and then another driver could win the race. Who knows? Racing is
Yeah,
this is why we
exactly.
love racing.
Yeah. Pluto, did you want to say something quick?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, Matt didn't mean to go onto the inters. He
Nah,
didn't
yeah,
have
that's what I
time to
thought.
switch
I
the
was like,
softs.
Matty's not like that. Matty's not like that. I knew
Yeah.
Matty wasn't like that.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because it was in a good position for us. But yeah.
Yeah.
Dropped down
Could've been
the
a double
order 'cause of the
podium.
tyres. Maybe. I'm not sure about that, but maybe.
Are you good with your questions to Asian, Polo? Because I got a question.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
go ahead.
So you and your teammate Utile had Sync as a teammate, and Sync was kind of the one not performing as well, and it got moved down to tier 3. Then with Utile, he got a good finish in Bahrain with a P4 or P5, one of the two, and then he's just had few points finishes, but not much. You came into the team replacing Sync, and you took some podiums already, one Hungary, one here, and you guys have kind of extended that gap over the bottom of the field in the constructors. You guys are probably going to pass Toros and Alpha to get to the top 5 in constructors, but if Utile, your teammate, and yourself comes to perform and comes to do better in these races, do you see you guys getting in the fight with the team who's at the back of the top 4?
Definitely, yeah. I think, Joe has got the pace. He's really, really quick, as I see it. I'm fortunate to be his teammate because he's one of the guys who just, he's up there. He's got good pace. It's just, he's not got the best of luck. And I think if, that luck changes, we can be at the top together. And I think, it's going to be close for other people with us just being there. And I think today I really proved that I can help, the team. And I really think that Joe can do the same as well when, luck changes and everything. Luck can change at any time in the race. If we can, battle together in our strong races, it will be good to get up to the top 4 of the constructors.
So, the next few races. Italy, Germany, the next 2 to end off the European swing.
Yeah.
Where do you see your... Okay then. Where do you see yourself in those races compared to the rest of the drivers? Because at Hungary, it rained and it got dry, the safety cars came out. You ended up finishing up in P3 after Milo appealed a penalty. You then finished P3 today after passing Beatnik on the final laps. So you've shown you're a contender at the front. You've shown you're a winning contender, a podium contender. But in those next 2 races, Italy and Germany, where do you see yourself? And if there's a podium there, where do you see yourself if you win the race? Where do you see yourself at those tracks?
I definitely can see myself at the top at least. If not, fighting for the win. Germany's one of my strong tracks. Italy, I'm pretty strong at, so I think I can help Joe maybe get up there at some point. I think if he can get a strong track in, maybe we can get, double points. And Italy is one of my strong tracks, and I think, I can maybe keep up with Kagoda or maybe even Pluto.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? So, with the Renault team for Tier 1 and all the tiers, those guys leading the Tier 1 constructors, Tier 3 midfield, you're midfield in Tier 2 with the constructors. With you and Utile, how do you guys see yourself as a teammate pairing compared to the Tier 1 and Tier 3 teammate pairings for your Renault?
Well, I think with Boca and Graham, they're both really, really strong racers. I've raced against them before. They're both very aggressive with their strategies, and I think me and Joe, we are just, we try our best. We try and get in luck with the luck, and then Tier 3, Raptor's in there, and I know Raptor is like a great driver. He's, he can be at the top at some point in Tier 3, so I'm really hoping that if maybe if Renault can sneak into the top fight in tier 2 and tier 3, maybe possibly, we can kind of help tier 1 gain our reputation in the whole league.
Yep. Congratulations on P3 there, and another podium for you guys. But
Yep.
Polo. Now I think Rizone, if he's watching, I know he's gonna want some predictions and stuff for tomorrow. Last season you took a pole position, Polo. Rapalucas was denied of a first pole position. I would say Britain's more of a wheel track, but I hear Rizone, Boker, all running toward the 25s. So, where do you then see tomorrow's race ranking, Polo? If it doesn't rain! If it doesn't rain!
If it doesn't rain, I think we'll get pole. This is his best track. We saw in the TSRL social race, he got into Q3, which was impressive considering how the likes of TRL Limitless, some of the quickest drivers on Xbox, and getting the top 10, that is impressive. I think Rizal could actually could possibly win the second race in a row. I think he might cause an upset on Boker and take the race win. This is his best track after all. Boker, he is strong at Britain, but I wouldn't think he's stronger than Rizal. And then for P3,
Yeah.
I think Rapalucas, either Rapalucas or I was gonna say F1 driver, but I don't know. Like he has a quality
Speaking
band,
of that,
so
Bieniek was P19 today. Didn't have a good quali. He came up to finish P4. Could have been P2, P3. Who knows what tomorrow could bring really with F1 driver. He has his quali band to serve. He has that penalty. So thinking about all of it, F1 driver, can he go from P20 to race victory or even a podium? I mean, I don't think the race victory is likely, but I do think a podium is very likely with the competition we have in the field. There's been many safety cars before in Tier 1 at this very racetrack, and just in general, we saw the great racing we saw last season. We saw 2 safety cars last season. So, there's definitely a chance. There's definitely a chance for safety car. You definitely can't say there isn't. But with the likes of Boker and Rizone and Rapalucas, it's all going to be a fight between them. I do expect possibly Atlantis to steal 15 consecutive races in the points. Get that record. Boker could steal the record for most podiums consecutively if he gets that this weekend, I believe. Rapalucas is on a streak as well as points finishes. There's many people on that streak of points finishes, but what we saw today with Bieniek, 19th to 4th. Whatever way the race goes tomorrow, bring it on. Bring it on. As long as it's not wet weather, because it's like the Tier 1, I think we need definitely dry weather. And I think for sure Tier 2 needs it as well. I think we'll definitely be talking about that tonight on the admin chat. And just in general, I think because all that's gone on, we've had wet weather, wet monsoon, just everything in Tier 2 that we just don't want constantly. We've had it every single race, and Tier 2 has been very, very unlucky with it. But for Tier 1, if I'm going to put any predictions up, like Rizone wants me to, Boker's had some bad luck off the starts at Britain, but he started at the back of those races, CCFR, or CCRL, or CFRL, whatever it is. So I'm thinking, with all this being said, I've seen before tax at turn 1 before. How that goes, we've seen that before, Polo.
yes.
We could see a safety car off the start. We could see, we saw last season Sam made a jump start, Tax and him nearly collided, allowing Axe to hit the back of them and cause a little mess right when that safety car happened. We've seen a lot of things happen last season, and I think just in general, basing off of what we've seen today, if it is a dry race, we could see an underdog pole. If it is a dry session like that, we could see an underdog pole again, Polo. I'm just saying, we could see a lot of things happen. That pole from you last season was closest margin at the time for pole position. Today was even closer, the closest yet. So, tomorrow is just waiting to be here, and we're gonna have to find out what happens, because Tier 1 is the big day. It's the race. We'll have to find out what all goes on. Now I'm sure if I can, I'll try to get Kagoda racing tomorrow. Adam Fab as well for Red Bull, but if there's spots, I'll try to get those 2 in. I will get you in next week if you want to be in, but up to you obviously. But yeah, I feel like that's fair. If we do get big three in contention for a tier 1 race because you know we deserve to see what they would do in tier 1 and we deserve to see what would go on with them. So I think that's fair enough. But either way, I don't think there's anything we else have to say, Polo. Besides, if tier 1 is dry tomorrow, it's gonna be a freaking good one.
Yes.
Anything else you want to bring up for tomorrow?
Hopefully Ben or XR Typhoon, whatever, give me that big toe.
Yes.
Hope you're watching the stream. Typhoon, give me that toe tomorrow, please.
Hey, it could be bringing another underdog pole position. We saw a pole position by Data Lucas, but it didn't convert into that. It didn't even convert into points. Milo Gaming and Hamilton stole a pole position, but they gone down the bottom part of the points or even outside the points today. So, say Booker or Rizone steal pole position. What happens to them? Do they go in the points? Do they, you know, because we've seen so far this weekend in the 2 races, I know that don't mean jack shit, but they have literally gone outside the points or had bad races. So, whoever steals the pole today, do they have a bad race? What goes on? So, tomorrow is tier 1. Tune in for all that because you don't want to miss the action. We will see you guys in tier 1 tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all tune in for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Britain, tier 1, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK. See you all then.